What's up, guys? Jordan Weber here. The first album I'm going to review is called In My Feelings, in parentheses, Going Through It by Boosie Badazz, formerly known as Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie was famously in jail for a while. Came out this past year, or maybe it was the year before that, and pretty much immediately after getting out, he was diagnosed with liver cancer. And that's kind of what this album is about. It's a really like deep and well, not deep, but like emotional look into the life of Lil Boosie. Uh, and I listened to his Touchdown 2 Cause Hell album in 2015, and I didn't like it at all. It might just be that I don't get the Lil Boosie appeal. I don't get why people like him. But I try to go into each album with an open mind, even if I have prior knowledge of the artist beforehand. I really try to take each album as the only album that the artist has ever come out with. That way I'm not biased when I listen to the album. So to start this review off, this album is all about his going through the cancer, going through just how people treat him now that he just got out of jail. I mean, he's been disconnected from the outside world for a while. And it's also about some societal issues come up, like police brutality and things like that. So a lot of this album's 10 tracks long. I didn't really feel the album until the very, very last track. Like, I didn't like the album at all. So just going to start that off. The last track is very good. It's called I Know They Gon' Miss Me. And that one's like the only, I guess, clearly emotional track where I really feel like Lil Boosie's conveying his feelings. I really felt like he was passionate about what he was talking about in that track. Contrasting to the rest of the album, where I feel like the beats and the instrumentation and his voice, his dialect, they're so hard hitting and they're so like in your face that it's kind of hard to take him seriously, because every song is attempting to be a banger. Not every song, but the majority of them are. So as I was listening to this, it was hard for me to really pay attention to like the lyrics. I still listen to lyrics, obviously, but it was hard for me to kind of like feel sympathy for him, not because like he's done anything to me, but just because it didn't seem like his heart was in it when he was making the music. It didn't seem like the kind of passionate and emotional songwriting. It didn't feel like he really tried to match the instrumentation and the lyrics together. Also, when he talks about things like police brutality and other issues that he's missed while in jail, all the things that have been happening around the world, he kind of just presents a really basic and simplistic point of view on those issues. So with police brutality, he doesn't bring up any provocative or like, I guess, profound points when it comes to police brutality. He kind of just says that he doesn't like it, and I don't really think anyone likes police brutality. So to me, it didn't seem like as deep as it could have been, or as artistic as it could have been. I mean, Lil Boosie's he's a veteran in the rap game. I've never really liked him, but I mean, he still has a platform in which he could speak out about these things in a really artistic way. I definitely think he has the experience for it, but I feel like he just failed to do that on this album or mixtape. Some call it an album, some call it a mixtape. So, with the exception of the last track, I feel like the instrumentation and the lyrics and the assumed emotion there was a disconnect there. It often seemed like he was just trying to make a banger album, while also trying to make people feel bad for him, with kind of sad and depressing lyrics. The last track definitely succeeded, at least for me, in conveying those emotions and those feelings to the listener, because it was like a slower ballad. It was a lot more quieter, a lot more depressing, compared to the other tracks that were really hard-hitting bangers. Not to say that every track has to be like a depressing and slow ballad. Artists have done this kind of emotional and deep album with a lot harder hitting tracks and with banger records, but they do it a lot better than I think Boosie did here. I just really don't understand his appeal at all. I definitely see his potential as a rapper. I mean, the bars aren't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that he doesn't seem to be able to make a complete record that has the both instrumentation and the lyrics and the emotion and the passion. He doesn't seem to be able to make an album with all of that taken into account and effectively conveyed to the listener. So those are just my thoughts on the album. I don't think it's horrible. I mean, it's just I'm not a big fan of it. This is just my opinion. I would probably rank this album or mixtape a 5 out of 10. Number rankings are kind of arbitrary, so take that in whatever way you want. So yeah, that's probably what I would rank this album. I definitely think if you are a fan of Boosie, you would probably like this record, just because it does give the listener kind of an in-depth look at his feelings. I just don't like the way he expressed it and conveyed those feelings. I just didn't like the way he executed the songs. But I do like that it's only 10 tracks. Pretty much anywhere from 10 to like 15 is, in my opinion, is a solid amount of tracks on an album. I hate albums that are like 18, 19, 21, 20, 21 tracks long. I think that's a little bit too much. So I do like that part of this album, and I do like the last song. And there were like, I think, one or two other songs that I could tolerate every once in a while. Like, I would listen to them, but the majority of the album I just wasn't a big fan of. But that might just be because I just don't like Boosie's voice, or I don't like his style. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the album. Let me know what you think in the comment section and yeah, see you next time.